Okay, time to fucking test my politics. The right to be anonymous on internet should be guaranteed. Absolutely agree. It is necessary to avoid private monopoly. Absolutely agree. Which means that we can't have capitalism because it's just gonna happen. In a system where you compete, you're going to compete until there's no competitor or weak competitors or competitors that you can subordinate into your own order of corporate control. Activists must always act in strict accordance with the law. Absolutely disagree. I support criminal acts of protests because that's like a true act of protest against the way things are is you violate them. My religion must be spread as widely as possible. I don't have a religion, so my answer is absolutely disagree because no one's should be spread. It is unfair to set a minimal penalty for an offense or a crime. Absolutely agree. Mandatory minimum sentencing should be abolished. Marriage should be abolished. Uh Neutral. I really seriously don't give a fuck if people get married or not. Citizens should take priority over foreigners. Um, I don't really have. I have a ultimate no borders perspective, and I like answering these tests with my like ultimate opinions, like my ideals themselves. So I'm gonna absolutely disagree here. Tradition should be questioned. Absolutely agree. Revolutions will always end up in a bad way. Absolutely disagree. Like what? What do you mean by a bad way? First of all, like everything is a product of revolutions. Like America is the product of a revolution. Like what do you mean? All sciences, even chemistry and biology, are not absolute and are subject to being shaped by our society. Yeah. Changes in an individual's way of life can induce changes in society. No. Individual action does not solve systemic problems. Sexual orientation is a social construct. Technically true. It is a small group that consciously and secretly controls the world. Uh, I don't care. Social, social differences between ethnic groups cannot be explained by biology. True. Social differences can't be explained by biology. True. Revenues and capital should be taxed to redistribute wealth. True. One is not born, but rather becomes a woman. True. You're born a fucking baby. It is acceptable that there are rich and poor people. Ultimately, no. Humans should neither eat nor exploit animals. Again, I don't care. Nuclear fission, when well maintained, is a good source of energy. I think that's the case. The values of my country are superior to those of other countries. Definitely the fuck not. What do you mean by the values of my country, also? Like, there's a lot of different people in America with a lot of different value sets. Banks should remain private. No. Totally not. Why the fuck would you want that? Energy and transport structure should be a public matter. True. Green New Deal, perhaps? Reduction of waste should be done by reducing production. I mean, if you mean like stopping using fossil fuels, then yes. But like that's not stopping energy production. We just produce energy in a different like by different means. So like maybe if two countries have similar economies, social systems and environmental norms, then the free market between them has no negative impact. This is neoliberal logic. They have similar. All of these things are similar. So the free market has no negative impact. Maybe the free market is in itself a negative impact. Fucking liberal. Offshoring and outsourcing are necessary evils to improve production. No. No, they're not. They're actually not. The filing and storage of personal records should be delimited strictly, and database cross-checking should be forbidden. I mean, I don't. Minimal levels of salary should be ensured to make sure that a worker can live off his or her work. Yes. My country must pay for the damages caused by the crimes it committed in other countries. The way America pays for its damages is when we abolish America. That's how I see it. So sure, yeah. I am equally concerned about the inhabitants of my country and those of the other countries. Yes, insurrection is necessary to deeply change society. It might be. The maximum allowed hours in the legal work week should be increased. No. The social roles of women and men can partly be explained by biological differences. No, the social roles can't be, because it's social, not biological. Biologically, human beings are designed for heterosexuality and every other form of sexuality. Like the male clitoris is literally the prostate, which is up your ass. Like it's all sexual acts are natural. We're built for literally everything. Environmental norms should be influenced by mass consumption and not from an authority. What? Environmental norms should be influenced by mass consumption and not. Maybe not? We must fight against global warming, true. The categories women and men are social constructs that should be given up, based. It is necessary to teach history in order to create a sense of belonging to the nation. That's not why you teach history. Fuck a sense of belonging to the nation. You don't. You are an individual. The sacrifice of some civil liberties is a necessity in order to be protected from terrorist acts. No, it's not. That's bootlicker talking points. I do not have any problem if other official languages are added to replace the already existing official language of my country. There isn't one, which is good. So, I don't care. It is merit that explains differences of wealth between two individuals. No. To think that reflexively is to be blind to the fucking economic reality of so many different situations. Like, you don't... The reason why any given person has more money than another person isn't because they're more morally pure than the other person. In any given case. Like, foreigners enrich our culture. True. That's actually, like, statistically provable. Conditions of life in jail should be greatly improved. Yeah, solitary confinement is torture. Parents should not exist. Or patents should not exist. Yeah, because private property is a spook. The labor market enslaves workers. Yes. The wage slavery is just a evolution of actual chattel slavery. A language is defined by its users, not by scholars. Yes. Based fucking linguistic studies. Euthanasia should be authorized. Yeah. Armed struggle in a country is sometimes necessary. Yeah. We need to make compromises with the opposition to apply our ideas. We can do that. I don't know, like, I mean, for some of our ideas, it's definitely necessary to make compromises with the opposition to apply them. And it's definitely worthwhile to pursue both reform and revolution at the same time. So yeah. The purpose of the judiciary system should be to punish those who went against the law. No. The purpose of the judiciary system should be to instantiate justice. And rehabilitation is more just than punitive action. Or reaction, rather. Hormonal differences can explain some differences in individual characteristics between women and men. I mean, yeah. And between people and people, like, sabotage is legitimate under certain conditions. Sure. Exploitation of fossil fuels is necessary? No. Schools should mostly teach our values, traditions, and fundamental knowledge? No. Fuck values and traditions being taught and imparted on a fucking school child. Looking for one's own profit is healthy for the economy. No, it's healthy for your own pocket. It is necessary to remove regulations in labor legislation to encourage firms to hire. No, it isn't. You're just catering to their own greed. Differences of treatment and quality of life in our society show that racism is still omnipresent, yes. Abortion should be limited to specific cases, no. If something is in your body, it's subject, or if someone is in your body, like, for the sake of argument, we accept that it's a person. If it's a person in your body, they're subject to literally every single decision that you make with your body. Therefore, like, there's no limit of, that gives you the right to kill it. Like, because it has no decision or knowledge of what's happening in the first place. It literally has no say. Like, the main goal of a couple is to make at least one child. No. What about couples that can't have kids? The influence of religion should decrease, yes. It's proven itself to be quite toxic. Selfishness is the overriding drive in the human species, no matter the context. No. I don't... That's like some weird fucking libertarian bullshit. Justice should always take into consideration the context and the past of the condemned and adapt their penalty accordingly. Yeah. Hacking has a legitimate place in political struggle. Sure. Members of a nation or culture have some unchangeable characteristics that define them. No, because your nationality, like, doesn't define you, and your culture can change, and it's malleable. Culture is malleable on an individual level. Preserving non-urban ecosystems is more important than creating jobs, and at a collective level. Preserving non-urban ecosystems is more important than creating jobs. Maybe. Abstinence should be preferred to contraception to preserve the true nature of the sexual act. What? The true nature of the sexual act? No. Contraception is the only thing that stops teen pregnancy. Maintaining strong economic growth should be an objective for the government. Sure. Technological progress must not change society too quickly. Yeah, honestly, yeah. But it does. It is important to encourage an agriculture that maintains a food biodiversity, even if the output is inferior. I don't care. We need to establish a monarchy to federate the people and preserve our sovereignty. No, we don't. The police should be armed. Maybe not. Elections organized by the state cannot question the powers in place. That literally makes no sense because you can get into power and change the powers in place. In some specific conditions, the death penalty is justified. No. I don't want the state to have the right to kill anyone. Nobody by nature is predisposed to criminality. True. Based. Multiculturalism is a threat to our society. Unbased. Order and authority should be respected in all circumstances. Absolutely fucking not. Order and authority should be disrespected in almost every circumstance. Borders should eventually be abolished. Yes. People need to stand up for their ideals, even if it leads them to betray their country. Yes. We should accept changes in our way of consuming food to limit the exploitation of nature. I mean, sure. Sexual assaults are partly caused by men's natural impulse. I'm not gonna take that one, fam. Sounds like a victim-blamey argument to me. Social assistance deters people from working. It literally doesn't. Violence against individuals is never productive. I would have to disagree with you. Market economy is optimal when it is not regulated. That's fucking retarded. It is necessary to implement assemblies to ration our production to the consumers according to their needs. Yeah, sure. It is necessary to massively invest in research to improve productivity. Research to improve productivity. Productivity is kind of like a capitalist, ideologically loaded capitalist term. The fact that some schools and universities are private is not a problem. I'm against private schooling in general. Individuals who get out of prison should be accompanied in their reinsertion. True. Changing the system radically. You can't just release somebody into the same environment and expect them not to do the same shit. Changing the system radically is counterproductive. We should rather transform it progressively. What the fuck is the difference? I think you mean incrementally. But nah. Transforming ecosystems durably to increase the quality of life of human beings is legitimate. Yeah. Mass strike is a good way to acquire new rights. Yeah. If we all had a fucking general strike that actually happened, we could accomplish something. It is important that health should stay a public matter. Yeah. Or become a public matter even. It is acceptable that some industry sectors are private. Ultimately, all production shouldn't be private. So no. State-run companies should be managed like private ones and follow the logic of the market. Fucking no one should follow the logic of the market. Activism in existing political organizations is not relevant to change society. That sounds like bullshit to me, buddy. Prisons should no longer exist. Based. The age of retirement should be lowered. Based. A good citizen is a patriot. Fuck nah. Transgender individuals will never really be of the gender they would like to be. It's not like to be. We literally just are what we say we are. So no. It is not acceptable that human actions should lead to the extinction of species. True. Loans contracted in the public sphere should not necessarily be refunded. I don't care. It is legitimate for a country to intervene militarily to defend its economic interests. No. Let's go to war for our economic interests. How about not? Because that literally just means the interests of a handful of rich people at the end of the day. Some sectors or type of employment should be financially supported. Yeah, I mean, nowadays employees are free to choose when signing a contract with their future employer. It's never a free choice, because what is your alternative if not just another contract to sign? GMOs should be forbidden outside research and medical purposes. I don't care. Honestly, we should always distance ourselves from protesters who use violence. No, we shouldn't. We should kind of support it. Dismissals of employees should be forbidden except if it is justified. I mean, ultimately, yeah. National chauvinism during sport competitions is not acceptable. Fuck sports. A good policy is a pragmatic policy without ideology. No policy is without ideology. Wage labor is a form of theft from the worker by companies. True. The state should be abolished, although that's a really stupid, reductive, uneloquent way of saying that. The state should be abolished. True. But maybe not yet, you know? If we abolish the state today, like, everything would just kind of collapse and get worse. No one should get rich from owning a business, housing, or land. True. Like, you're not working. Homosexuals should not be treated equally to heterosexuals with regards to marriage, filiation, adoption, or procreation. Literally unbased. Fucking... The Supreme Court agrees with me. Heavy penalties are efficient because they're dissuasive. No, that, like, prove it. I haven't been convinced that heavy penalties are dissuasive of anything. Like, the death penalty isn't actually a deterrent, by the way. Because how the fuck are you gonna prove that? Like, oh, are you gonna ask the guy on death row, like, oh, I wouldn't have done this if I knew this was happening to me. Like, space colonization is a good solution for supplying the lack of raw material on Earth. I mean, maybe. Research produced by my country should not be available to other countries. Bullshit. We need fucking international cooperation. Or else shit like COVID happens. Like, what? Like, honestly, like, seriously, guys, that needs to be an internationalist issue. Some sort of international government needs to take care of fucking epidemics and shit. Transhumanism will be beneficial because it allows us to improve our capacities. I don't know how I feel about that. It is better to arrest someone potentially dangerous preventatively rather than taking the risk of having them commit a crime. No. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're gonna arrest somebody for doing nothing? Like, what? Foreigners living in my country should be allowed to act politically, equally to those who have the nationality. Honestly, yeah. But it should be easy to become a citizen anyway. Oh, fuck yeah. I have the most badass of fucking flags. Socialism, equality, and humanity. Based. Fucking based. So I got 93% constructivism, 93% rehabilitative justice, 79% progressivism, 93% internationalism, 100% communism, 90% regulationism, 40 versus 24 on ecology and production. Kind of in the middle there, but really like 40% ecology is the majority. 74% revolutionary. Seems pretty base to me. Also, I'm an anarchist, which is the other part. How do I fucking get like a good picture of this? How do I like zoom out? So I can send it into the chat. copy and paste the photo? What do you mean copy and paste the photo? There's no like Oh, is this the photo? What? What? Who? Right click on what, dude? I'm on Windows and it's different? Yeah, I bet. I like how I'm literally like 0% capitalist. Like, zero. Nothing. No part of me is right-wing economically. It's kind of funny. And yet Stalin would still call me a radlib, like fucking he calls Roadcone. Roadcone should take this test. I want to see like what he actually fucking believes in, you know? You guys will now have mine. How the fuck do I like zoom out though? So I can make a better how to zoom out on a Mac. Command and press minus. There we go. All right. Command Shift 3. That's not what I wanted to take a fucking picture of. God damn it. There we go. All right. Okay. Based. This is probably better though. This like layout. I like it better. I like it personally. I'm gonna pin that too, because it's like mine. And then there's my quiz. I have the hottest flag of anyone. Let's compare our fucking shit. I'm like so much more of a fucking communist than you, dude. You're a capitalist. You're actually a capitalist. And you didn't get the anarchist extra either. You're not an anarchist or a socialist. Like, you got 24% communism? You got more last time you took it. Pretty split. Equality, humanity, work. Work. Whereas I'm just like socialism, equality, humanity. You're pretty fucking progressive, though, which is good. You're also more revolutionary than reformist, which is cool. IMO. Check out those sexy full-on left bars. Alrighty, guys. I did it. I fucking did it. I took Politiscales. Very jealous of that flag. Exactly. The best flag. The best flag possible. All right. Okay.